right, Kate Angle, thanks so much for that, love. So let's just quickly have a look at Kate's product. What have you got? Wink. Ooh, memorial pet stones. How cool. Don't change. We'll leave that as it is. Don't change. Thank you. What a beautiful product. Did you come up with that? That is so beautiful. That's the sort of thing I would get for my pets. I didn't even know that existed. Oh, that's beautiful. I hate to think about little puppies and animals dying though. But great product. I like it. Let's ignore the fact about Kate's product and details like that. Let's instead go straight over. Let me just pause my screen. I just want to make sure I'm not going to give away any of my crazy shit that I'm doing. All right. So all I did then was just clicked on the Create a New Campaign tab in Google AdWords. Okay, that's the only thing I've done. So then you come to this screen, Create a New Campaign. So you've got lots and lots of different opportunities here, lots and lots of different things you can do. And Google AdWords is a remarkably powerful thing. And you can do some crazy shit. So for instance, everybody, I am sure, has seen and been a party to you saying things in your home when you've got a Google speaker in your home, for instance, or something like that, and the next thing you know, you're seeing ads for that particular niche or product niche online. Everybody's experienced that, or at least read about it. Well, that's all done through this interface. I'm not going to teach you how to do that because that's pretty friggin' advanced, but this is where you do it all. For most of us, all you need to do is set up a pretty simple and pretty basic Google AdWords campaign. And what else do I want to say about that? There's two different goals that you can have for your marketing in general, but let's talk about Google Ads specifically. So there's two different goals you can have for that. The first goal is a goal of ranking your product. So taking your product from, page bazillion to page 1 of Amazon. Well, there's a very, very specific set of things that you can do, which, by the way, I recently covered in my Advanced Amazon Inner Circle, and that would enable you to get your product onto page 1 and start taking advantage of Amazon's traffic. All right. So a ranking campaign is a different undertaking to let's call it a profit campaign. A ranking campaign, you are investing in your business to get it to rank on page 1, ostensibly position 1 of Amazon for any given search term that you're going after, all right? And that's a different goal. And so with different criteria to get there. So let's assume instead that we're going to focus on profit campaigns and making money from Google AdWords instead. And they absolutely are different things. Don't confuse the two, because you'll be very, very disappointed if you do. Because Google AdWords is a fantastic way to rank a product. And depending on the niche, it's either an average way or a okay way to make money for your product, all right? Depending on your niche. So, anyway, enough of all that shit, Neil. Get on with the friggin' demo. So, what you need to do is you're going to go for website traffic. Boink. And lots of options here. So, you can do a search campaign, a display campaign, a shopping campaign, or a video campaign. Well, if you're selling on Amazon, you cannot do a shopping campaign. That's because you need to be able to put the Google cookie or tracking ID on what's called your success page, and you cannot do that on Amazon. Therefore, you cannot use Google Shopping, all right? That's why you can't use that. You can, though, with eBay, not with this. Display, don't do that until you get much more advanced with what you're doing. You can make a shitload of money using display, but you can also waste a ton more money. And most people waste money. They don't make it because they don't know how to work display. Video, I love. But again, slightly more advanced. I am spending a lot of money on video. But again, it's advanced. So we're just going to do search. Boink. So first thing Google wants to know is, what is your business website? Well, what that is, it is your URL. Now, you're probably going to think to yourself, Neil, you teach us all sorts of crazy URLs. What URL should I use for Google AdWords? And the answer to that is a really, really boring one. Now, why is that the answer? Well, Google does not like shenanigans as far as URLs go. So for the most part, you're much better off sending your traffic directly to your listing with a standard URL. So amazon.com/dp/ your ASIN. Just without that little bit there. That, for the most part, is the best place to send them. You can get a bit trickier and send them to a landing page first, of course, which is kind of cool. That's an awesome thing to do. But again, let's keep it really, really simple, really, really basic. And instead, let me show you this. All of this extra stuff I'm saying, like landing pages, video, display, all in my inner circle stuff. That's all inner circle stuff. So if you like the sound of that, cool. Then just know that's where you go learn that shit. So campaign name. Now, your campaign name typically is going to be, I think, Pet Memorial Stones is going to be your main product term. That's just a good practice to get into. And then your sub campaigns, which are called ad groups, you call them, as you'll see, your actual search terms. So we've got some options here: search network or display network. We don't want display network. It's okay to go onto the search network. So the search network, just so you know, is other website search engines that utilize Google search. So for instance, Yahoo, when you search for something on yahoo.com, that actually uses Google search to do it. Ask Jeeves, when you search on Ask Jeeves, that actually uses Google search to do it. Nothing wrong with that. Feel free for it. Locations. Well, we are on Amazon.com, which means we are in the US of A. So we're going to edit our location. United States, target. Now we can do lots and lots of extra sexy things here, look. So we can do people in who show interested in your targeted locations. People in or regularly in your target locations, or people searching for your targeted locations. What that essentially means is, based on their IP address, Google will figure out if it should show their ad to somebody or your ad to somebody. I think for the most part, if you have got, so here's a little disclaimer, if you've set your shipping so you can ship outside of the USA, then it makes sense to let people from outside the USA see your advert as well. However, if your shipping settings are set so that you will only ship it to people within the USA, then clearly you don't want to target people outside of the USA because you won't ship to them, all right? So depending on what you've got set up, go for your life. Let's make the assumption Kate has got it set up so that we can target people outside of the USA who are interested in buying something from the USA. We don't need to worry about that. Languages, don't need to worry about that. Audiences, again, here we're getting some very, very, very crazy, sexy stuff. So audiences are either, just like in Facebook, so inner circle people, so just like in, say, Facebook, where we can build a custom audience and then do a lookalike audience, well, you can do the same thing in Google. And that's pretty sexy to be able to do. So you can make an audience of people who click on your ads and then broaden them out as a lookalike audience. Inner circle people will know what the hell I'm talking about. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, don't worry. It's of no consequence right now. We're going to close that up. Don't even worry about it. Budget. Well, that depends on you and your own particular cashola situation. Bidding. All right, now, here's a question for you. Assuming you all know what a conversion is, which you may or may not know, and so it may be a shit-ass question to ask you. Assuming you all know what a conversion is, should I be focused on conversion, on optimizing for conversions when I'm bidding? Is that the appropriate thing for me to focus on? What do you reckon? Yes or no is a simple answer to this. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. No, we should not be focused on conversions. Why? Well, how the hell can we find out if we've made a conversion when Amazon does not allow us to put our conversion tracking cookie onto their website? So we must not focus on conversions, which you'll see is the default. So that's obviously there, and that will trip you up if you don't know what you're doing. That's the default. So instead, we're going to focus on clicks. So we want to focus on people to click the advert. And then we're going to set a maximum cost per bid click. So here's our CPC. All right, next question ought to be, how much should we bid up to, Neil? Oh my goodness, what should we bid up to? Well, let's go and work that shit out. So let me show you a very simple way. Watch on Untitled number 8. All right. So here's a super easy way to figure that out. Let's just use our little example here, okay? Good. All right. So super easy math, all right? It is more complicated, but you'll need to do this for your own product. I can't do it for your product because I don't know all your numbers, but here's what you do. So to work out what your bid cost per click should be, what you do is work out what the profit per sale of your product is. So this one, which RRP is at 25 bucks, well, that makes us $15 in profit, okay? Makes us 15 bucks in profit. And so to work out your click bid, the amount you're prepared to spend for a click on any platform, not just Google, but any platform, typically a very good rule of thumb, disclaimer, Neil is not giving you advice. Rule of thumb is it takes on average, and every category is different, it takes on average 10 clicks from Google, which is cold traffic, to make a sale, okay? 10 clicks to make a sale. So, what should our cost per click, based on 10 clicks with $15 profit, what should the maximum be for a bid cost? What should our bid maximum be? What do you reckon? Maximum. $1.50. That's right. $1.50. Why? Well, $15 profit per sale divided by 10. 10 clicks to make a sale equals $1.50. All right, that's our maximum that we can bid up to. And what that tells us basically is this: for every 10 clicks, we should make a sale. A click costs us $1.50. So for every $15 invested in Google AdWords, we should make one sale. That's what really that says, okay? In a roundabout kind of way. But obviously we're in the profit phase of the business, so we want to make some profit, so we should bid lower than that. And what I tend to do with that sort of thing so that I can make some profit is I tend to go and reduce it by approximately a third. So reduce it by a third, and that becomes my click budget, okay? And then I make it a weird number, because most people who are beginners on Google AdWords will bid round numbers, $1, $1.50, $2, $2.50. So by bidding $1 and a cent like that, then I'm going to get prime positioning, and it's only going to cost me 1 cent to get it. All right, so that's why I do that. Anyway, there you go, buck and a cent. Ba, ba, ba. Hope that's all making sense. And then from that, for every 10 clicks we get on Amazon, we should then make 50 cents in profit multiplied by 10, so $5 in profit. So that's going to give us $5 in profit based on those numbers, okay? So there it is. I put it in. Cost per bid, tops, $1 and a cent. Now, all of these things, ad settings, ad extensions, all awesome. Let's have a look. Ooh, some crazy shit here. So you're not going to get to have those add site link extensions unless you have variations. If you've got variations, then you will put your variations in as site link extensions. So things like red t-shirts, blue t-shirts, yellow t-shirts, brown t-shirts, that's all done with site link extensions, okay? Super easy to do. Call out extensions, not going to be so big. Would it be? What could you use that for? You could, I suppose, use that to call out additional information about your product, about what it's doing. Call extensions, not going to be such a big one because you're not going to be taking orders over the phone. Ditto for location extensions because, again, you're selling on Amazon. It's coming from Amazon, okay? So not important right now. And again, for advanced stuff, it's all good. For this stuff at this level, yeah, you know, it's neither here nor there. All right, so now we're going to start creating our ad groups. Pretty simple for our ad groups. What you want to do is one ad group per search term. Pet memorial stones. So I'm assuming that is Kate's main search term. So that's what we're going to go after. Pet memorial stones, just like that. So what that would do, if we just did that, what that would do is that advert would now show for Kate's product. If anybody typed in a search term that's got pets in it, it would show, or could show, memorial in it, it would show, and stones, it would show, but it would also show for things like the things that are related to pet memorial stones as well. So broad means really freaking broad, like super broad, okay? So instead, I don't think you should do that. I think instead, you're better off putting it as what's called a phrase match, which means that as long as those 3 words are there in a given search, your ad will show. So for instance, if somebody goes to Google and types in best memorial pet stones for dogs, I spelled that wrong, but you get the idea, then Kate's ad will show, okay? Kate's ad will show. So it gives you a little bit of extra leeway without the broadness and craziness of having a broad match thing. So that's one way of doing it. And if I was setting up for a ranking campaign, that is exactly what I would do. I would have a keyword like that, pet memorial stones, as a phrase match, and that would be what I would run. However, we're doing a profit phase, so what I'm going to add in is one more word. Given that we are selling, you could do modified broad, but really again, you know, modified broad, just so you know, Chrissy, is a great way of discovering new keywords. Where am I? Given that I am selling on Amazon, and given that I'm only interested in people that want to buy pet memorial stones, what is one word that I could add into that would enable me to be much more confident that anybody that clicks on my ads is a buyer ready to buy? What's the one word I could add? Kathy's son, thank you. Clissy, thank you. Scotty, thank you. Marcel, yes. Tony, yes. Layla, yes. So if I just add, all I'd need to add in is Amazon. That's it. That's all I'd need to add in. And then I would know that anybody that types in that, so for instance, buy pet memorial, oops, he says, you get the idea. Pet memorial stones on Amazon, for instance, then my search would show. But I want that Amazon in there because I'm looking for people what want to buy things on Amazon. That's a very conservative strategy, but I think that's a good strategy for you when you're beginning, all right? Conservative is good. Once you learn what you're doing and you know much more advanced things, you can go crazier. But to begin with, that's good. Save and continue. All right, so now we're going to do our advert. So your advert, you should do 2 variations of your ads, okay? Variation number 1 should be very plain vanilla, super, here's what it is, here's what it's about, go buy it, all right? Super plain vanilla. So, pet memorial stones, doink. Let's go back here. Headline number 1, pet memorial stones. I'm just going to take it from Kate's product details page. Oh dear, Kate, you've got to get your product description going. That's terrible. Come on, Kate, what you like, love? Let's write something instead. Pet memorial stones. We're so sorry you lost your loved one, for instance. Remember them forever with this kind of thing. They're both too long, but you get the idea. So you get 30 characters, you'd craft something like that. And then you can put your description in. So the path, I always put memorial and stones, like that. And then in your description, you typically take this from all of here, from your product description and from here, your bullet points. Yeah, that's where you typically take it from, and Kate needs to do some work on those, I believe. That's where you take it from. So, for instance, you get 90 characters here. So let's just try and find something like that, for instance. Ideal gifts. So I'll get rid of that. Like that. And then you might get one more. Like this. In there. For instance, okay? You just take it from your listing. You just take it from your listing. You're doing A+ now, that's good, well done. All right, so that's your first version. It should be really plain vanilla, okay? Super plain vanilla, all right? Dead easy. But then you want to do a different version of that. So let's just get rid of that. Where's that? Like that, okay. So your next ad, so you should always do 2 ads. One is plain vanilla. Your next one should be something outside of the box, okay? So your outside of the box one, let me show you an example of an outside of the box one. So this is an advert for a microfiber beach towel, okay? That's an advert for that. So our headline was, it's almost cocktail o'clock, time for fun in the sun. That was the headline for that. Headline and headline number 2. Okay? That kind of thing. So what you're looking for is to do something that's going to stand out like dog's balls in the Google search results. That's what you're looking to do. And the best way of doing that is by understanding your customer avatar so that you can talk to directly what's happening in your prospect's mind when they come searching for this particular product. That's the best thing you can do. So you have a plain vanilla version and then a version that's really, really outside of the box, thinks about your particular thing. So one thing that I'm trying to think, some of the things I've done in the past I can share with you. So one thing we used to do for for the keto diet, which is a dieting thing, was we would aim those adverts at ladies, and at different times of the day run different adverts. And so our Saturday night advert could be something like, it's Saturday night, you're home alone again. That kind of thing. So it would be very, very detailed, very, very targeted. Those ads, they're really outside the box, but man, oh man, oh man, they can just knock it out of the park for you, okay? They truly can knock it out of the park. So that's all done from your customer avatar, okay? Customer avatar. So once you understand what's going through the minds of your customer, then you do that, all right? I don't know what it would be for something like this without kind of spending some time understanding her avatar, but I just want to kind of show you the nuts and bolts of setting up a Google AdWords campaign. So, that covered a lot. Holy shit. Any questions on that? Let me just get rid of that. Get rid of that. And where am I in there? I love your product, by the way, Kate. I think it's just beautiful. That I do. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.